ye, hear ye. We have entered the town, ran by Lady Whistledown. Whistledown. Period. Oh my gosh. We have a visitor, guys. It's my kitty cat. It's my kitty cat. Sweetie. Hello. How are you? She's such a cutie pie. She wants attention. Guys, it is 11:30 at night. Nobody's home. And we got a video to record. Let's get straight into it. My little baby. What up, y'all? It's your girl Naya Athena, and welcome back to my channel. And yes, today we are reviewing the one and the only Bridgerton Season 3 Part 1, because for some reason they had to separate the last episode from the rest of the season, and it's only like 4 episodes, so we're gonna get through this pretty quickly. If y'all hear any like rumbling, it's my little cat. She over here being greedy. You know how she go. Oh gosh, she's about to knock something over. Hold on. So yes, let's talk about Bridgerton. I love me some Bridgerton. So let's just start and preface this because I have watched both Bridgerton and Queen Charlotte the past seasons. I've watched them twice. Okay, I love this. I love it. I love this series. It took me a while to jump on the train, but I'm definitely here for it. And let's just hope coming into this, I'm hoping that Lady Whistledown, aka Penelope, is gonna stand up. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say because I love a good romance. I love how Bridgerton does their romances, but this particular one that they're trying to ship, I don't know if I'm here for it. Honestly, I don't know how I want this to turn out. So I've only watched the first episode. I'm not gonna watch them all at once because I feel like it just will affect my opinion as time goes on. So I want to give y'all my raw and uncut opinions on this episode as we recap it and go through what all happened in this episode. So boom. We start with the famous Lady Whistledown and her writing and her voice, and she's back in. It's the new season of courting. And we see in the first scene, we see Penelope and her mother and her family, like her sisters and stuff. They're entering back into the town. She observes everyone, and of course, she's writing about it. She's extra writing all about it, and they are reading about it because that's just what she do. She do this. She is not true to this. She not new to this. She true to this. Like what? We also see that the seamstress is still, partnered up with Penelope. So, she got her a little ally or whatever, still, still going strong. And we get to see last season's couple, who was the famous couple of the season, aka our newest Bridgerton, and we get to see how happy she is and how she fits right into the Bridgerton family. And I think it's really cute. That's the cutest thing, like just her and the mother of her husband, like they're just getting along so well. They love each other. It's really cute. Cool. We see Francesca. She's getting better at piano. Now, Francesca is one of the younger Bridgertons. I think she's the next youngest Bridgerton. So one of them got married. The oldest girl got married. And then you have the next oldest girl who is obviously not on that, but she is courting in the season, but she was found indecent situations last season. But Francesca is also expected to enter the season, so she's obviously getting better at her piano, which we see her becoming more of a prominent character in this season. And we see Mr. Colin Bridgerton, okay, being quite the charmer to the ladies this season. And I'm already annoyed at it. Not gonna lie to y'all, because where did this come from? But we gotta remember, Colin did just come back from his studies overseas, so he's a new man. He's a little bit more mature, and I can respect that. So, of course, we see Penelope in the corner, peeping everything like she does so well. And obviously she's very wary of Colin because of how they left last season. Like, he still did not want her. He friend zoned the hell out of her. And she still feels some kind of way about it, as she should. So she's like looking at him like, oh, you coming back better than ever? Okay, still probably got a crush on him. So we hear him talking to like the ladies in the season. They're like, "Are you gonna get married? Are you planning on marrying this season?" And he's basically saying like, "No, like I'm sure y'all will find beautiful marriages, but it just ain't gonna be with me." But obviously they all want to marry him because he's the boy diamond. I know they only do diamonds for the women, but he's the boy diamond of this season. It's very clear that all the ladies want him, right? So speaking of diamonds, we get on to see who the queen will choose for the diamond of the season. And honestly, I don't know what to expect. I'm watching the scene and I'm trying to figure it out just as much as the next person. Like, who's gonna get chose? Like, who is gonna be? And we see our lovely queen begin to decide. So it's very, very interesting to see who the queen decides on as the diamond this year. As we see the options, they are presenting themselves to the queen. We see Francesca Bridgerton entering her first season. She isn't really worried, but Lady Bridgerton is scared for her. Okay. Her mother is scared for her. Like, you sure? You sure? Because, this is like, I think she's the young. No, it's so many Bridgertons, y'all. Like, I'm pretty sure it's a few more babies, but, like, she's like kind of the baby too. So her mom is like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this, because she was trying to force her other child into it. But so now she know better. But Francesca, like, I'm ready. Like, I'm cool. I'm good. I got it. And we also see them bring to the Majesty's attention her favor of the Bridgertons because of the past seasons. However, this time she doesn't choose a Bridgerton. What are the odds? I'm actually happy she didn't choose a Bridgerton, because it's like, bro, I'm tired of seeing the Bridgertons win. I'm sorry. Like, maybe I'm just a hater, but like, can we get some more people? She's the lead. We didn't see Penelope and her sisters, though, being escorted to be chose for the Diamond of the Season, which is new. I'm assuming they're kind of still outcasted, like a little bit, but they're still in the season, but they're still like, you know what I'm saying? But we can assume that her mother is on yet another scheme because they have money again. They've been going through a lot of schemes and not having money and having money, and we're gonna find out soon enough how that came into play, right? I don't know why my camera is doing this right now, guys. So then we see her speaking with her right hand maid, and we see that she's basically saying like, you sure they're gonna believe this story? Because you got a story for every season. You got a story. And I guess the story is something about their aunt Petunia, who passed away and left them a fortune, like she loves to say, even though don't nobody in their family got a fortune at this point. It's very clear. But we don't know where this fortune came from. But all we know is she is telling everybody that, the Aunt Petunia died and left her just all this random money, this random fortune. And we also have to remember the oldest of the Featherington family is still unpleasantly married, because remember she set that up for like a fail-safe plan and it ended up backfiring. Yeah, she's still unpleasantly married. Well, actually, no. She's unpleasantly married to some random dude. Like, I don't know where he came from. I guess they just wrote that in, little plot hole. But it's not a pleasant marriage. It's not a respectable marriage in this sense. So we have to keep that in mind, that one of the Featheringtons, the older ones, are out of the picture, right? Then we go to the next scene and we see the people are talking because the queen seems unsatisfied with the season's picks. When is she ever satisfied? But you know what I'm saying. She ain't messing with nobody. She has not picked a diamond. She said none of y'all are good enough. Period. So boom, we in the yard now. Penelope Featherington, aka Lady Whistledown herself, finally runs into her old friend Eloise, and before another girl can bully her, the old friend Eloise kind of takes her in as a friend, like takes in the bully as a friend to try to distract her and still avoid Penelope, because she's still not messing with her. Like, girl, you ruined her reputation. However, she's like, let me just be friends with this girl because I really don't want that to be something that I witnessed. So she starts to befriend the mean girl, right? And then we see Francesca. We see Edwina. We still see Edwina mingling. Well, from last season, Edwina is the younger sister of the last season's pick of pretty much the new Viscountess. I'm sorry, she's a Viscountess. Viscountess. So we see our newest Viscountess, who is happily married. Of course, they are in love. In love. I know what I'm in love. In love. Okay. Then we see Colin still risen up all the girls, because it seems like he's really just separating himself from them, though. Like, he's like, oh, you guys are lovely, but you're not who I'm gonna marry. Like, y'all will be, I'm not marrying nobody. He's basically pushing everybody off, of course. Now he a ladies' man all of a sudden. And at this point, the Featheringtons are very much known for their thievery and their lies, so they're still not necessarily, like, accepted, but they're there. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going nowhere, clearly. So, of course, Lady Featherington is working hard to dispel the lies and the reputation of the family, even though she's part of the reason why the reputation is bad. But she's gonna keep working. She's working overtime. Just call her Kris Jenner. She is working overtime. Okay? The devil works hard, but Lady Featherington works harder. Okay? But both the older Featherington girls are married to men without titles, and they all have like a conversation about who's going to carry over the title that they randomly have, right? Because at this point, whatever lie Lady Featherington has told people about this title that they have, that they were left by their deceased aunt or something like that, if it is found to be untrue, the letter, that's pretty much like the will, if it's found to be forged, before they could pass the title down, it's going to be a problem. And somebody does make Lady Featherington aware of that. So she's like, okay, so basically I got to secure this bag before it's too late. We can see the dynamic in their family where she tells Penelope, like, I can always trust you to be there to take care of me. And Penelope is like, excuse me? Because, Penelope don't really mess with them like that. She's like, she's never really been on the same wavelength as her sisters and her mother. But she has been pretty much the most stable, I suppose. Finally, we see Penelope yearning. Well, she's always been yearning, but she's yearning to abandon that yellow dress color that she's always wearing. Thankfully, she takes on more responsibility too, to take a husband, because she is tired. She's tired of her family. She don't want to keep going through this with them. Like, she's like, I need to find a husband too. Like, I need to take this more seriously. You know what I'm saying? It's time. So we see her maturing as well. And we see the dress that she has. It's no longer going to be a yellow dress, so we're excited to see what she does. And she even tells her stylist to do her hair like the girls in Paris, which is where Colin was, where he was studying and where he was exploring. So she's basically trying to appeal to Colin still, because she knows he just left a foreign place, and she wants to appeal to that foreign place and not look like all the rest of the girls within the season, which is kind of pick-me-ish. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm just like, girl, this man don't want you. He been saying it for 2 seasons. He don't want you. He don't see you that way. But whatever, girl. She's still trying to get him to see him that way. And we also see Eloise still doing her thing, reading romance. Okay, so Eloise is opening up her mind some more to romance. So she's not so much as like a stickler for like, I want to be a smart woman. She's like opening her mind to the idea of romance, meaning that she can still be smart and be herself and still experience love. So interesting little thing in there. Um, Everybody's changing, so we get to see a lot of these characters like developing and like kind of gaining more depth, which is a really cool thing to see in this first episode. We see Eloise and Penelope bump into each other again at the Modis, and it's kind of an awkward conversation because they're not friends anymore because of what Penelope was forced to do in order to protect her friend's reputation, but kind of still destroying her reputation, and to protect Lady Whistledown's reputation. So it's really awkward. obviously Penelope like starts apologizing, and Eloise don't want to hear that. But she's like, I'm gonna keep your secret, but forget about it. Like, you're done. Like, we would never be friends again. And that's valid. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunate, but valid. And she asks Penelope if she really is friends with the mean girl who tried to bully Penelope, aka Cressida. Random. I mean, she was in the last season, but she's more like a main character now. So her name is Cressida. She's very mean. And Penelope doesn't really answer her. She just says, girl, bye. I got, look, bye. Whatever. Farewell. So then, boom, business is booming for our favorite black man and his bar. You know, the faves, the fave couple. I love them. They're very much supporting characters, but they have their own little storyline going on. So it's really exciting to see that his bar is still going strong, despite how he earned that bar, which was a little shady, but hey, what they don't know won't hurt them. So, he receives news that his wife's great aunt or something has passed, and by default, it is passed to the next of kin. Not him, but his wife's next of kin, aka their son. And they are to be the next Baron of Kent, which is a pretty good title. Not like a super high title, but high enough to be like, oh, it's a title. You know, they don't have any titles, so it's kind of cool. And we also see a little spicy scene of the Viscount and his wife as she attempts to make a good impression on the family, because she still gotta like, she still want to look good in front of them. You know, she's a new Viscountess. She got to get into her role of being that, you know? So basically, and it's just crazy how like Penelope is like changing her whole style, and we're really seeing like her become someone different. I just hate the fact that it's implied that she's doing it to appeal to Colin because he's been in different places and she's just getting her inspiration from all the places he's been. Like, girl, why you couldn't just like do your own thing? I don't know. Stand up, Penelope. Just stand up. We see my lovely Lady Danbury still hosting the first ball because that's her thing. She started it, period. And we see Penelope in green, a deep green too. And it's a really pretty green. I'm not going to lie. It looks really good with her red hair. It gives poison ivy. I love it. It's giving. I mean, she ate. She did eat. So they describe it as very melancholy though. Like everybody's like, that's very very dark and dull. And then obviously they play the first rendition song, Bridgerton style song, and of course it's one of my faves. It's Rihanna. Hey, I heard you were a wild one. Ooh, because she is being wild. Like she's not in the style of where they are. She's taking her inspiration from literally a whole different country. So they're like, they're not feeling it, but she being a wild one. Period. Pooh. Yeah. So we see Penelope kind of getting some suitors, like people kind of trying to talk to her, and this is new for her. So clearly she don't know how to act. She rambling. She kind of messing it up for herself a little bit, but you know, they say pretty girls yap. I'm a pretty girl. I like to yap. She yapping. She's a pretty girl. What can we say? Like, what can we say? Like, it's only right. Am I right? So we also see Eloise trying to hang out with other girls, which is like the, you know, just like other people trying to make friends within the season. But it's not really like she's talking to them, but it's really a disconnect. Like she can't really like relate to them, right? Because she's just not, she never was relating to them, but she's just trying to now, and it's like, okay, you know, give and take. And even though there are guys trying to talk to Penelope, they still be like, ooh, let me not stay too long before Lady Whistledown get to you know, talking. And it's kind of sad because it's like they're still kind of embarrassed to like be seen too long with Penelope, to be seen as if they're trying to suit, like as if trying to court her. But in her eyes it's like, dang, like it's a blessing and a curse to be Lady Whistledown, because obviously it's something she loves to do, but everybody's kind of like scared of her without even knowing that it's her. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure if they did know it was her, she would be like destroyed, you know, ruined. Oh, I got the hiccups. So Francesca, who has been practicing this piano for 2 seasons, who was terrible at it at first, who is way better than it now, she's in the seasons, and the men are obviously questioning her, like, okay, like, who are you outside of your hobbies, though? Because usually the girls are taught to say, well, I play piano, I do this, I do that, to impress the men, but they're like, okay, but like, who are you? Like, who is your character? And this is the first time that Francesca is like, oh, I have to actually think about that. And we don't really know anything about Francesca either, except the fact that she's playing piano and she's getting better. So this is going to be a question that I'm also going to be looking for the answer for as I continue to watch this series. Like, who is this girl? Who is she? She seems like a very, like, I wouldn't say timid, but she seems very like, okay, like I can do this. Like very confident in herself, but like a quiet confidence. And I can respect that. Um I'm very sick of watching Penelope be lonely though. Like, girl, get out of your head. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I guess Francesca and Penelope kind of gravitate towards each other because who else is Penelope gonna be friends with? Like, she don't have no other friends, and neither does Francesca. Like, they're both kind of new to the season and being like social for once. So they kind of gravitate towards each other, and Francesca literally says like she doesn't like being expected like a toy. So she kind of like has a different perspective on courting as she enters. Like, she's basically just saying, like, I don't really know if I like being objectified. Okay, now that's something that's kind of breaking our fourth wall a little bit because all of them are being objectified. Like, it's courting season, literally. That's the whole point, kind of. So it's very interesting that she says that, and I like that they're addressing that. Penelope and Lord Debling converse, and Lord Debling is obviously a little older, so he's not very pressed about Lady Whistledown. He probably would court Penelope, you know what I'm saying? And he starts flirting with her, and she kind of swoons a little bit, like she kind of had it something going on until Cressida came in and was being petty and ripped her dress accidentally on purpose. Why would you do that, Cressida? Why are you hating on Penelope like that, girl? Like, who even what? Why? And obviously, she runs out. Colin follows her out for some reason. I don't know why Colin felt the need to talk because like you already made it clear like you're embarrassed to be seen with Penelope. So I don't even know why he still want to be in her. Like, ugh, like they just get on my nerves. Like I can't like. And obviously she's irritated too because she's like, "What do you want?" Like we're not friends. Like she's being very flippant with him. And he's talking about how he missed her and she pretty much clocks him for saying that he missed her, but you won't. You miss me. You want to be my friend, but you won't court me. Like, what are we doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? At this point, it's been clear that she likes him and he knows this. And he's like, well, I see you as a friend. And she's like, okay, like what the and she literally reminds him like, "Oh, but remember when you said you would never court me in a million years? Like, am I that bad? Like, you know what I'm saying?" And he was just like, "Look." And we get to see her get to writing. Yes, indeed. So this is when we get the threat that Lady Featherington has that she needs to pretty much hurry up and figure out who gonna take this title before we find out that that will is fake and y'all actually have nothing because y'all never have nothing because their family's just shady. Like, I mean, what can we say? We do get to see Eloise call out Cressida for being mean and like being like, girl, you did not have to do that. Like even though Eloise is not messing with Penelope, she tells Cressida like, you do not have to do all of that. Like, leave that little girl alone, pretty much. And rightfully so, because what are you doing? Like, why are you being that mean? And it's cool because they end up actually kind of being friends and they both agree to only worry about themselves and just kind of do them. Like, why are you worried about somebody else that's not even messing with you? Like, just do you. Focus on you and focus on what you need to do. And that's real. Because what do you mean? So then we see Lady Bridgerton and she's trying to stay as long as she can. Okay. The Viscount and the Viscountess extend their honeymoon because they are, just trying to have the best of both worlds. But Lady Bridgerton is late is staying around. She don't want to leave. She's still in the nest. She don't want to let it go. Like, girl, you're not the Viscountess. My allergies are getting real bad, y'all. So we get to see like Francesca really is not here for the courting, which is interesting. interesting indeed. There's always someone who's not really here for it. And of course, like at first it was Eloise, but we see Eloise is kind of opening up her heart a little bit to love in different ways. So it's kind of interesting to see like where this mindset will get Francesca. And of course, Colin just still friend zoning P. Like he's like, I still want to be friends with you. And P is like, bro, why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I like you. Like it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? But I guess he comes up with this dumb agreement, basically saying that he can help her find a husband, and in response they be friends or something like that. And of course, I think that's ridiculous because why are you, the man that I like, trying to help me find a husband? And I've already told you I like you and you've already friend zoned me. Like that's ridiculous to me. Like she need to just stop talking to him altogether. But and it kind of feels predictable too. Like not gonna lie. Like I hope that this don't play out the way I think it's gonna play out. But obviously Penelope falls into the trap of being back friends with Colin and she's like, all right, fine. You want to help me find a husband? Fine. We also see Lord Kent is the heir of our favorite black couple. Yes, my two faves. I love them so much. I don't know their names off the top of my head, but I'll put a picture up and y'all gonna know who I'm talking about. And their baby is obviously going to be a lord now, which is cool. Lady Whistledown put the ball in the Queen's court with this diamond situation because usually Lady Whistledown will pick a diamond. Or no, the first time Lady Whistledown suggested a diamond. The second time, the queen picked the diamond. And so now, since the queen hasn't picked the diamond, Lady Whistledown pretty much writes about it and says, hey, let's see what the queen gonna pick. Like, she throws it back in the queen's court and she's basically like, all right, I'm not gonna pick, you gotta pick. Like, let's see. Like, let's see what's going on. So that leads me to believe that it might end up being Penelope, but I don't know. 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 It's too many people. It's too many people that it could be and too many people that we haven't seen yet. I feel like I don't know. So obviously Eloise knows who Lady Whistledown is, and they're reading about it, and she peeps that Colin is mentioned in the pamphlets, and so she's looking at this from a different reader's perspective because she knows who's writing it. So she's like, okay, like, and Colin makes it clear that he does not like Whistledown to Eloise. So he's like, I don't like that girl. Like, even though he don't know who it is, I do not like her for ruining my sister in the last season. And Eloise put her in, Eloise is put in quite a position because she knows who Whistledown is, doesn't mess with her, but is gonna keep the secret, but also sees that Colin is friends with Penelope, you know what I'm saying? And also knowing that he doesn't mess with the character of Lady Whistledown. So it's a very awkward position to put Eloise in, considering she doesn't want to be in that position, but she is, like, automatically. And also just seeing how the dynamic will be if he were to find out who Lady Whistledown really was, considering he wants to be friends with Penelope so bad, even though Penelope still like him. So it's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of triangles, a lot of webs that could possibly be created, and only 4 episodes. So I'm a little bit worried because what could y'all possibly do in these next 3 episodes that is gonna change like the trajectory in a way that is not predictable, in a way that, you know, is like a good build up. You know what I'm saying? And then making us wait a whole like what month for the last final season or part or whatever. I don't know, y'all. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes. But that was episode 1. I hope you guys like enjoyed this. I love Bridgerton so much. Like, and it's only a few episodes, so I don't intend to like drag this out just because I want it to be done by the time the new episode comes out so that when it does come out, I could be on it. Okay? Period. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.